Hey everybody, welcome back to the Steph Experience. So today I went grocery shopping. I went to Trader Joe's, picked up a few items that I needed, came home and thought, might be a good idea to share some of these items with you guys. So I did a small Trader Joe's grocery haul. So there might be some things on this list that you're interested in. You can go to your local Trader Joe's and pick them up. Also wanted to share with you guys that in the past 9 days, I have lost 7 pounds. I contributed all to my way of eating, all to this new vegan lifestyle, plant-based that I have adopted, and I just feel amazing. What works for me might not work for you. What works for you might not work for me, but I have really discovered something and I am sticking to this. I've cut out all fats, I've cut out all processed foods, I've cut out all sugars and refined foods, all dairy, and it has changed me. It's making me feel and look pretty good. So I'm really pleased with the results so far. I discovered that I can still have all those starchy, comfy foods that we were all taught, to stay away from, or that they're going to make you gain weight and they're going to make you fat. It's not the starch that makes you fat. It's the fat we add to the starch that makes you fat. That's what I learned. That's the biggest takeaway for me for this whole journey, is that I can have whole starches. I just can't add fats to them. I can't add gooey cheese. I can't add butter. I can't add oil. Fat makes me fat. So I decided to cut them out of my diet. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you. Just so you know, I'm really excited. I don't get on the scale hardly ever. And when I do, I'm happy that I can say that I was pleased this time. So let's get started. I'll show you guys what I got from Trader Joe's. Okay guys, so let's start with the cauliflower pizza crust. This is some good stuff. I love pizza, and one of my favorite foods on earth, if I was on death row, it's gonna be pizza. So I found a way to make really good pizza without feeling like that I'm missing out. So the cauliflower pizza crust is made with cauliflower and corn flour, nothing else. There's no refined anything in it, and it's gluten-free. I use this with portobello mushrooms. I use this with plant-based meats. I add tomato basil to it. I add spinach to it. I add zucchini to it. I add beans. I make it any kind of pizza that I want. I always use the cauliflower pizza crust. Here's just a few veggies, some mushrooms, zucchini, some Brussels sprouts. I always have mirepoix, which we talked about before in one of my videos. It's just diced celery, onions, and carrots. I love Trader Joe's Thai vegetable gyoza. Gyoza is almost like a dumpling. You steam them or you could stir fry them. It's a really thin dough. These are yummy. I always have white super sweet corn, and I always have my roasted corn. Those are frozen. They are delicious. They're great to add to any sauces or to eat on their own. I love to make tacos, and I use these as tacos, taco bases, I should say. I have meatless meatballs. These are good. I add these to sauce. I like to make spaghetti. Any kind of spaghetti that I do use is always going to be grain-free, and it's going to be cassava spaghetti. Cassava is a plant-based root. It's really good. It's gluten-free. There's nothing refined in it. So anytime I make spaghetti, I use cassava spaghetti. And it's nice to add these meatballs to it. If I do have a hankering for meat, sometimes I just want a burger, I use Beyond Beef. I also use the Impossible meat. But between the two, it's hard to figure out which one's my favorite. So either one works for me. I make my own patties and I have a burger. If I need to snack, I don't do anything processed for the most part. Every once in a while, of course, we all want a snack. I discovered these plantain chips. They're so good. Be careful because they're addictive. So when I go, I only buy one bag, because I used to buy like 6 and 7 bags and throw them in the pantry. But by the end of the week, the 7th bag would be gone. So I would tear these up. They're so good. They taste just like potato chips, but they're full 100% plantains. And I love grainless cassava tortilla chips. Sometimes you just want something to dip, or you just want to crunch. So I do treat myself with the grainless cassava tortilla chips. Organic brown rice. These come in 3 bags. There's 3 bags in here, and they're easy to just throw into your microwave. Of course, I don't microwave that much. I mostly stir fry everything. So what I do, I just take a bag out and I throw it in my wok, and I stir fry the brown rice. One of my favorite items from Trader Joe's is their San Francisco style multigrain sourdough bread. Now this is not gluten-free, but I do allow myself to have 1 or 2 slices a week. I use this bread to make my French toast, which I will be doing a video on my homemade French toast. You guys are going to love it. This bread is really tasty. It's really wide bread. Yum, it's good. I usually like to put strawberry jam on it if I want to make toast with it. My rolled oats. I always get my rolled oats from Trader Joe's. These are gluten-free. There's another brand of Trader Joe's rolled oats, but these are my favorite ones. Always have my fresh lemons on hand. So I have a lot of spices, and I'm noticing that you guys have noticed all of my spices from Trader Joe's. So today I just picked up a couple. I needed more Dijon mustard. I make my own homemade salad dressing because store salad dressing has oil in it as a base, and because I don't use oil in anything, I make my own. So I use Dijon mustard, I use balsamic vinegar, and lemon juice, and maple syrup, and that makes a really, really good dressing. Kimchi. Kimchi is a raw, naturally probiotic, vegan, fermented cabbage. It is really, really good, and I use it for a lot of things. I like to add it to stir fries. I've talked about in the past my island salsa. This is salsa with mango, pineapple, and jalapeno peppers. It's one of my favorites. Nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast is a spice that is vegan and gluten-free, but it tastes and looks like cheese. It reminds me of back in the day, you remember those little cheese puffs? It tastes and smells like cheese puffs. So because I'm vegan, I don't eat anything that has cheese in it. I don't eat cheese products. But this is great to make you think you're having cheese. I sprinkle it over salads. I put it in bases of some of my meals. I use it when I make breads. It's really, really good. This is vegan chickenless seasoning salt. And basically it's what you would normally like sprinkle on any of your poultry items, but it's really good to put on your vegetables or anything that you're cooking. It has turmeric in it, which I use on mostly everything. The Everything But the Bagel Sesame Seasoning Blend. I talked about this a little bit before, but I didn't go into detail. If you've gone to any bagel shop, they have an everything bagel that has all of these spices on top. Well, this is those spices, but in a bottle. So it's everything but the bagel. Yummy. I love sweet chili sauce, and I've used many different brands before, but this one is my favorite. I use this for tons of vegetables to stir fry. I love a sweet and sour sauce to my vegetables, so I always use that one. Talked about coconut aminos. That has replaced anything that I would normally use oil for. It goes in mostly everything that I cook, and I actually today bought 8 bottles. My romesco dip that I've talked about before is a Spanish-inspired sauce, and it's made with roasted peppers, tomatoes, and crushed almonds. I use this as a dip, and I also use it in some of my other sauces that I make. The cashew fiesta dip is a dairy-free cheese dip alternative. It's really, really good. It's thick, and it goes really, really nice with the grainless tortilla chips. I've talked about my lentil soup with ancient grains. It's high fiber. It's really good. This is vegan, and I buy tons of this too because I use it on its own, and I also add it to different sauces that I make. It's a really hearty soup, and it tastes like there's meat in it, but there isn't any. Sometimes I'll add even more mushrooms to it just to make it a little more hearty. And then I have my Fruit Frenzy bars. These are raspberry, lemon, and strawberry, and sometimes you just want a treat. And these are sweet and natural fruit. I also use these, sometimes I'll throw them in my NutriBullet and I'll crush them up and blend them and add a little bit of coconut water or almond milk, and I make a smoothie with them. So those are just a few of the items that I got today, and I wanted to share it with you guys. All right. See you soon.